to, yesterday, I think it was day before yesterday, since I came yesterday. They fought each other that I had to, because I have a cane. I was looking for them, I wanted to pick them. But later I went back to my library and I started thinking, I thought, have you forgotten you also, when your late brother was alive? My younger brother, we fought till almost JSS 3. Always fighting. So I had to really calm down. Okay, it is normal, okay, with children. And that what? I must not allow, there is an organ called amygdala. I'm going to get to that. I'll talk about amygdala and insula and the role they play, okay, in various homes. So you must learn how to do what? To manage, okay, the conflicts, not only between and among your children, but between you and your spouse, between you and your husband. Let me really say this. As a human being, at times anger, okay, takes, okay, the better part of me. But immediately I remember neuroscience, I try to go and dissipate, okay, to release that anger. Because I know that keeping anger is like you taking poison. Okay, I'm expecting your enemy to die. Anger has the capacity, okay, of causing what's called apoptosis. That is the death, okay, of neurons, those cells in the brain. So anger, negative thinking, okay, are things that we must try to guide against. I remember that before I stumbled onto the neuroscience, almost every month I'm always falling sick or falling ill. It's ill. I realized that I was falling, and the reason is this. So I was always falling ill. And then it was because I was jobless, and this was because I was trying to develop insights on neuroscience. But my wife was so impatient. She was so just frustrating me, and we were fighting. I discovered that during that period, I was always falling ill. It was data that I actually gathered from neuroscience that, okay, the reason why I was falling ill then, it was because I was only thinking of how to deal with my wife. I was consumed with just how to hurt her because it was hurting me. But now, there is a word that my wife knows that I hate. And that is whenever she says, if she wants to provoke me, she just said the word, I don't want to say it here. Whenever she says it, I explode. But do you know that not too long ago, she called me the word, and I was just laughing. She was expecting me to explode. And I told her, Kenny, and the word is just simply idiot. How can you call me an idiot? Because I love intelligence, I love knowledge, and somebody who is close to me is now calling me an idiot. But now, whenever she wants to be like idiot, yes, I'll just be laughing. So that word has lost its potency. And the reason is because I know that if I keep thinking negatively, if I keep stomaching, okay, those negative feelings towards her, it will affect the cells in my brain. It will lead to depression, okay, yes, depression, and depression, do not forget, leads to diseases and illness. It is part of the insights from neuroscience. Yes, teaching them neuroscience, the basis. Yes, like in Scotland, for example, do you know that the government, in order to protect the brain, please, let me chip in this. The United States, the UK, the OECD countries and others, they are exploring, they are investing in brain science. And one of the findings is that, do you know that little injury to the brain, okay, might end up causing a neurological impairment or challenge? Let me please share this story. The president of Dyslexia in Nigeria shared a story how his son had an accident maybe in the school premises. So the son didn't maybe tell his parents when he got home. Later, do you know that accident that child had then became what? It led to what is called acquired dyslexia. And dyslexia is simply that inability, to read, to write, to spell, etc. And now in Scotland and in some other countries overseas, they've enacted laws. To reduce dangerous plays. Dangerous plays in the school premises. In fact, if you for those of us who play football, if you take your mind back to maybe to the year 2000, the football then was this leather kind of football. It was very, very strong. Now, in fact, you need to close your eyes to be able to head it, to nod it. But now we find it just because of data from neuroscience that the infant brains, that their brains are still developing, in neurodevelopment. So now the balls that they are using over there, they are leather balls, but they are not as hard, as it used to be. And the reason is just because they want to protect their children's prefrontal cortex. Because according to neuroscience, they say, or neuroscientists, sorry, that the prefrontal cortex, because matured between the ages of 18 and 25. Let me go pause a bit. Let me answer this question. Why is it that a child who is not up to 18, if that child commits murder, the child will not be sentenced to death? Because that has not gotten to 18 years, isn't it? Yes, that is the answer. Because the brain, especially the prefrontal cortex, I'm going to read because that part of the brain is so important. Or let me say it here. The prefrontal cortex is known as the seat of wisdom. It is known as the seat of intelligence. Our decisions, our executive functions, the ability to control impulse. Let me go and slap her. No, I should not do that. All those things that are referred to as higher order functions are controlled by the prefrontal cortex. This is spirit. I want everybody to touch here. I want you to just touch this part of the brain. Madam, your prefrontal cortex. Yes. When you say only, no more or something like that, the only that they are talking about is this part. This part, your intelligence, your everything is controlled by this part. And do you know that there are some brain blind teachers who would pick up the cane and start beating a child? I shared something that happened, I think about last month. I went to a school and I saw this teacher. I was in one of the classes and I heard this boy shouting, and I went and I saw the teacher right to, and she was using plan and she was hitting it on David. Yes, that's the name of the boy. She was hitting it right to. The guy was screaming. So I had to really intervene. But do you know that when David actually calmed down, I took him. The first thing I did was I had to assure him there's something called comfort confidence. I applied it because I am a stranger there. He wouldn't have loved to really open up. But I use that tactic. I won his confidence, and I told David, write 2 for me. Even though David was able to write 2 from number 2 to 10. And this was something that he could not write in the presence of the teacher. Why? Because of fear. Not that David doesn't know how to write it, but the teacher has I think she appears like a lion in the class, or lioness in the class. And to make matters worse, she was spanking him on the head, where the most important aspect of the entire brain. So I talked about dangerous plays, etc. And then there's social media addiction. Please, I'm not against allowing our children from using phones, but there's something called LSD. That is, in giving them access to browsing, please, we must make sure that we monitor whatever they are doing on the internet. In the school where the school that my daughter attends, almost like there's no week that they will not give them assignment, okay, to Google on the internet. And whenever they come, Daddy, please, I need your phone. Yes, come to the library, sit down, like they'll give her the phone, then she will do her research. And let her hand over the phone to me. So the point I'm trying to say is this: either we like it or not, there's no escaping the fact that our world is device connected. Our world is, those children will always have a need, okay, to go to the internet. But we must not forget, we must try and guide against them becoming dependent on devices, what I call device addiction. There are some children today, you see them 247, they're always on the internet. And this thing, there are conflicting research. There are some research studies who they said that browsing, video games and others, okay, improves intelligence, it improves attention. My point is this: we must try to do what? To guide against our children becoming addicted to their devices. Yes, you can give a, like, maybe, like a come. If you read your books for 3 hours, I'm going to give you access to the internet for like maybe 30 minutes. It is a way to do what? To use dopamine principle to encourage what I told us about the DHL. Yes, then nutrition, okay, and neuroparenting. There's an aspect of neuroscience that is called nutritional neuroscience. Okay, it has to do with what? Balanced diet. That in my home today, we've made it a kind of like a norm in our family to do what? To take fruits almost every day. There's this popular saying that an apple a day does what? Exactly. It is important that we do what? We try to imbibe nutritional neuroscience in our parenting. And then, apart from fruits, then eggs too are important. As I speak to you, I take cod liver oil. If I take it today, the next day I won't take it. And the reason is this: the brain contains fat. And because of aging, I know that the fat that I was born with, that the quantity would have been reduced. And one of the reasons why I take cod liver oil is to make sure to serve as a supplement. So I'm going to really advise you to think about it because of your cognitive and intellectual status. Then exercise.